What you mean?
The Ark State Red Wolves. For EA Sports, I'm Reese Davis, Jesse Palmer, and David Pollock with me. Guys, can't wait to get this started. Memphis ready to kick it off and get things started. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. Slips through the line. He's on the loose. Wide open, and it's a foot race. They won't get him. It's a touchdown.
People still fill in the stands, and he takes the opening kickoff back to the house to fire up the crowd, fire up his teammates. What a start for this young man.
Setting up for the extra point after the first score of the game. And the extra point makes it 7-0. Well, I'd say that's quite a way to make an early statement. Take the opening kickoff and run it all the way back for a touchdown. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. So the Memphis Tigers offense will dial up the first ball plays in this one. They are going to be greeted rather rudely, I guess, by a group of defensive linemen that wreak havoc and hunt down quarterbacks, Jesse.
And they wreck games. They take away everything you do offensively. So it's a huge challenge in this one, David, for this offensive coordinator to try to call plays and find ways to get the football away from these big fellas up front because they...
And the pass rush is effective, and they tackle him at the 19.
And that's what you're trying to do, not just in this game, but for the season. You're just trying to set the tone defensively, and they do that getting the sack. They feel good about their front 7 and all the athletes they have. It'll be fun to watch this unit for the rest of this game and see how they do in one-on-one situations.
And the Tigers trying to find their way forward after the big loss on the last play. Just gets it to the 28, pickup of 1.
Man, it's really hard to control the running game if you don't control the line of scrimmage. And how about the defensive line doing a great job attacking those guys up front, not open up lanes to run through. Nice job just nullifying that run altogether.
Pulls it in. It's Washington. Oh, he's got some space. Just what they were looking for to get this drive rolling. They're out to the 35.
That's really got to make this offensive coordinator feel good calling plays. You get a completion on 3rd down early in the game, and he should be having a lot of confidence now moving forward in this game calling plays.
Hit hard just as he released it on 1st down and just couldn't get it to the receiver. You guys have both played in rivalry games, so what did you do to keep yourself locked in during that week of preparation, David?
Well, you try to keep your emotions in check, but it's really, really hard to do because a lot of times the hatred is so strong. The emotions are so real. The coaches get super tight, and they start talking about things, Jesse, so you don't just treat it as another game.
No, it's hard to handle the anxiety leading up to those games, not just because of what it means to your season, but because of what the fans are saying, what your coaches are saying, what your family and friends are saying, understanding how important those rivalries are.
They've got to come up with a big play on this 3rd and long. Dropping back, it's Hicks. Bringing the heat. Oh, and he took a shot as he threw that one away. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. Memphis will be forced to punt. First time we've seen their punt team this afternoon. He'll take it on the return. The solid return there offsets some of the punt yardage and really sets up this offense nicely. So the Arkansas State Red Wolves offense will have its first possession of the game. And they are led up front by a powerful offensive line that opens up an array of possibilities, Jesse.
No question it's the identity of this offense. Multiple players up front that are going to play in the National Football League. This unit is going to be up for the Joe Moore Award at the end of the year for the outstanding O-line.
Makes the grab on the right. And perhaps a touchdown-saving tackle as they get him down at the 37. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Quarterback making adjustments. Going back to the well, another deep ball. He is down at the 1. A terrific run after the throw and catch. The Red Wolves have it with a first and goal. Wants to pass. Quarterback extends the play. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
He was trying to push it downfield. He was looking for a receiver, trying to make a play. Could tell the pressure started to get to him.
And he takes it in for the score. Touchdown, Red Wolves!
Man, this offense has started the season off so good. 1-0 a week ago, right? Now building on it again. Great job putting points on the board. It's still the first half, but this unit looks dialed in.
Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Here comes that Memphis offense back onto the field. They've gotten off to a sluggish start and need to put something together on this drive. Off the play fake on first down to throw. Can't find his man as he took a shot trying to deliver that football, and it'll be second down.
And these coaches have these play sheets over there on the sidelines, and there's so many calls they want to call. They want to make explosive plays, but you got to protect your QB, and he's already been sacked. Now he's hit again. Like, they've got to protect him up front if they want a chance of doing damage on the offensive side of the football.
To throw, it's Hicks. This time it's complete. That one could really put this drive into high gear as they have a first down at the 37.
Really nice job by quarterback and wide receiver. This is why you do film work. This is why you throw on air all offseason. I know I get zone coverage. I know exactly where I'm breaking. I know exactly where to deliver the football. Nice throw, nice catch.
They'll run play action. He'll off one deep down the left side. And they won't make the connection going for the big play.
Well, this defense was ready for go balls. Against this receiver and his speed, he's one of the fastest in the country. They knew this quarterback was going to try to take the top off the defense. That time they couldn't link up, but if you're on defense, just know they're going to try that play again.
Behind the chains now on second and long. Wants to go up top. Got it set up on the outside. And he never had a chance. As soon as he caught it, the defense was right there.
Well, they're trying to set up the screen pass to the running back. Just nowhere to go after he caught the football. The defense completely swarmed around him, and that's a loss.
Now facing a third and long. Looking downfield, and he needs a bunch. Rush coming in high, and they got him at the 29. Memphis will send the punt team onto the field. This will be a second time they've had to kick it away. Makes a nice grab at the 25. They'll put that return to a stop at the 33, but the offense set up in pretty good field position. They'll start this drive at the 33-yard line. Looking downfield on first down. Uncorks one. Fires Memphis has the ball back and the offense ready to go to work. To say this has been a slow start is a bit of an understatement, and they really need to get it going here, Jesse.
That's right. The opponent, they're firing on all cylinders right out of the gate. Offensively, for this unit, they've been slow and struggling. They need an explosive play to wake themselves up.
Yeah, and it's just the first quarter, so it's not the end of the world. You've seen slow starts, but you got to continue to pick and pick and pick until you find that play or that scheme that you can use against this defense.
Now the offense tries to punch it in on 2nd and goal. They're going to run it. They'll knock him down for a loss of a couple. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. They'd love to make this short field pay off with a touchdown instead of a field goal, but it's 3rd and goal. They're going to run it. They got 0 push up front, and they stopped him in the backfield. They'll try to put 3 on the board as the field goal unit comes on. And he'll boot one from the right hash. He ought to be able to navigate that angle from this distance. Oh, that one will leave a mark. No good. And after the miss, it's still a 14-point game. They'll snap it from the 20 for the opening play of this drive. Smith wants to throw. Catch in the middle. It's Huffman. Really good job to pick up a chunk of yardage and get it out to the 39-yard line.
Nice job by the quarterback, seeing the receiver come open, getting him the football, making the first down, and they like to do this. When they make a first down, they want to go fast.
Intercepted. A first-half turnover can swing momentum.
Man, another mistake by this. Listen, he is an elite quarterback. He's really, really good. He's pressing too much. Jesse, the #1 job of a quarterback, you better protect the football. I don't care how good you are, you better protect it.
Yeah, you just got to take what the defense is giving you. And I agree, David. It looks like right now he's trying to force the big play instead of just checking it down or throwing away. He's got to do a better job working through his progressions right now. He's got tons of talent, but he's making bad decisions.
It'll be a first down from the 49-yard line. Wants to throw on first down. He just missed the target on that one. Got to put it on his body.
Well, nice job by the defense. They're playing with a big lead. They know the offense has to throw it, and they are inviting throws over the middle of the field, knowing they can break on these passes and maybe pick one off. Offense lucky that wasn't a turnover.
Past the 40. Turning it on. They'll ride him out of bounds after the good pickup spotted at the 25-yard line. As they get set to snap it, time winding down here in the quarter. Looking to throw on first down. Works the middle of the field. And he's able to bounce off one tackle, but still not a whole lot of running room. We've reached the break, and Arkansas State has the lead. And they jumped out to that edge early. As we wrap up the first, let's take a quick look at our game stats. Now the challenge here, they've taken a punch, but they can't let it get out of hand as we start the second. So second down here as we're back at it after the break. Looking downfield, it's Hicks. Makes the catch. They'll spot the ball at the 12 after that completion. Finally, this offense starting to shake the cobwebs and get things moving. It's 1st and 10. From the shotgun, they'll run it. That is a big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got the ball. Going to work in the red zone, they can't pick up the first down without getting it into the end zone. They'll go to work in the air on second down. They get enough rush, and it pays off the sack at the 20. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. Under fire. And the pressure gets to him again. Another sack. And now on 4th down, they'll try a field goal. He's going to try to punch one through from 45 yards away. Didn't make him sweat at all. It's good. the lead is down to 11. So after the last drive ended with a field goal, the kickoff team out there to send it away. Here he comes from inside his own 5. He was looking for more running room, but none to be found as he stopped at the 23. Arkansas State ready to go back to work on offense. He threw a pick the last time they had it. Now they have to take care of the football. Grabbed over the middle. It's Rodgers. Finally corralled, but not before. He picks up the first down. Last completion moved the sticks in. Let's see if they try it again. Quarterback may change this route. Here's a heat. Quarterback just flat missed it. Incomplete.
Just don't feel like the quarterback's in a rhythm so far. He's had accuracy issues. That last throw was underthrown, but we've seen bad decisions. Trying to force the football in places it just shouldn't go, and that's why he's already thrown multiple interceptions.
Really putting together a threat now. They get the first. It's at the 37. And the Red Wolves come to the line with a new set of downs. Out of the gun, they'll run it inside. There he goes. Ripping off a good chunk inside the 25, and they're set up with a first down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Smith dropping to pass. Hit hard as he released the ball on that first down pass, and it never had a chance. Plenty of distance between them and the sticks here on second down. Motion from the back. Back to pass. Got it in the middle. It's Hoffman. He hauled that one in and got it down to the 15-yard line. The Red Wolves are at the line looking to convert on third and short. To the ground to try to pick up the first. And he waltzes in for the score. Touchdown, Arkansas State. They'll try to add another to their lead. Follow the blockers. The offensive line will take you to the hallelujah land.
And I tell you what, most of the time, Reese, it requires a little bit of skill to find that hole and slither through a little crack. That was not a crack. That was wide open. It didn't take a lot of vision because the blocking was outstanding.
And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. Here comes that Memphis offense back onto the field. This is hardly the start they dreamed of, down 21-3. But get a touchdown here, and you feel like you're back in it, Jesse.
Yeah, it's frustrating for this offense as well because they've got the horses. They've got playmakers to light the scoreboard up, much more than the 3 points we're seeing here. I think you just got to stay true to yourself, do you, David, and know that the points are going to come.
Well, it's also frustrating when the defense is giving up points almost every single possession. So they need to score here and take this down and have a good drive, and then the defense needs to pull their weight a little bit too.
And he never had a chance, just stopped cold as soon as he got it. Probably the toughest call on the play sheet. Third and long, ball's at the 25. From the gun, wants to pass. Looking deep down the right side. Oh, he dropped it. That deep ball was right on the money. You just have to make that catch. Memphis will be forced to punt. Hauls it in, looking for space. Very little will make a crowd hold its breath like a punt return, and he brought them to their feet on that one. Let's see if they can get something going here late in the half. Looking for a gap. It's Rodgers. Got enough for the first down. All down, but he has enough to move the chains.
Man, who says you can't run the middle anymore, right? Everybody thinks, I got to make big plays. I got to go way out to the left, way out to the right, way out in space. Nope, right down the middle. Nice blocking. How about the running back? You can tell the speed, the wheels, does a great job getting down the field. huge rushing play.
What will they dial up on second and a long way to go? The give to the tailback. How about this sophomore stopping him short of the first down line?
The big fella in the middle, man. Those defensive tackles, they go such a long way in deciding and really stopping the other team's run game. Just forcing contact with those guards and those centers, owning the line of scrimmage, and getting running backs on the ground.
Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. The offense stays on the field. They just have inches to go on fourth down. They'll run for it. He's got enough. It'll be a first down. They've got it up to 12. Probably the only people upset about going for it on fourth down, the punters, who don't seem to see the field as much as they used to.
Now when you've got a running back like that, he just has like a sixth sense. He always seems like he can just find the crease, especially in these short yardage situations. He comes up with a huge play there on fourth down.
Second down coming up on this red zone opportunity. Smith wants to throw. Finds his back in the middle. And he cruises his way to the house. Touchdown, Red Bulls!
Man, find your weapons. Nice job by the quarterback. Find the running back out of the backfield. He catches it and does the rest. Walks into the end zone for the touchdown.
Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Memphis has the ball back, and the offense ready to go to work. They find themselves in a pretty deep hole here, but maybe a chance to grab a little momentum and regroup at halftime.
Yeah.
And the pressure gets there, and down he goes at the 18. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. This offensive line has just been unable to keep them away from the quarterback. Now it's second and long. Looking to fire. Pocket breaking down. It's complete to the left. He goes out of bounds right at the 37-yard line. A good, productive play there to get things going. They've got it at the 37. It's first and 10. Wants to go up top on first down. Blasted as he lets it go. It's incomplete, and I tell you, this sophomore quarterback's lucky to get that one back.
Really good toughness by the QB to hang in there, take a big shot, but I will not give him credit for throwing into double coverage. So, nice job hanging in there, being tough, make a better decision, do not throw in the double.
Breaks into the open. Push out of bounds at the 39-yard line. A big pickup on that run.
Well, obviously the offense went 3 and out on their last drive. They're having a little bit more success here. That was a nice run, and I think that's the key, guys. If they're able to run the football, they're going to be able to stay on the field. And I think that's something you want to think more about if you're the play caller on offense.
Last couple of plays, the offense seems to be just one step ahead, David.
Yeah, and I'm going to have to do something to disrupt the timing, the rhythm. I got to do something that they're not expecting, because right now they got the run and they got the pass working. So this defense, they have to find something new to kind of confuse this offense.
And they'll shove him out of bounds after the short gain.
Yeah, and tight ends aren't just line up and block guys anymore. These guys are athletes. You line them up all over the field. And nowadays, you can start to feature them more and more in the passing game.
Gets the back moving. Wants to throw. He's working against the clock. Rushes on him. Good job to avoid the negative play and just get rid of that thing.
The offense just has not been able to find a way to get their rhythm going here in the first half. We just haven't seen it in the passing game. That was a really good example of it again. If they're going to score more points in the second.
They get enough rush, and it pays off. The sack at the 20. We've got a timeout in the waning seconds of the half. Maybe a chance to get more plays. Their hope for a touchdown gone by the boards, but they'll try to put up 3 before going to the locker room. Absolutely perfect.
And you want a touchdown and you want to be aggressive, but man, right down the middle, that obviously gives me some confidence down the road that I can trust this guy.
He'll bring it out. It's Stevens. Couldn't find a way to create that broken field as he stopped at the 25. Just enough time for one final play in this half. Smith dropping to pass. That one comes out hot down the right side. And he is finding wide open defenders all over the field. His third interception of the day. Never had a chance to get rolling after the pick, but he gives them the ball in prime field position at the 40. That's going to wrap up the first half here, and now we join Kevin with the halftime update. And the Red Wolves will kick it away to start the second half. And he's coming out of the end zone. And they'll bring him down to get the offense started on the next drive. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. Here comes that Memphis offense back onto the field. When you're facing a deficit like this one to start the second half, you really can't afford to waste a single possession.
Fresh start here in the second half. That's the only way you can look at this if you're on offense. Things did not go your way there in the first half. It starts with one play. To get our confidence going, we just got to get something going early here on this drive.
One play, stay aggressive. Now I think I can be even more aggressive on fourth downs because obviously I've built a deficit. My defense has got to make some plays for me too.
Second down, they'll go to the air. Here comes the heat. Just had to get rid of that one. Good job to fight another play. Third down, and this offense is already in a world of trouble. They could really use a conversion, not to mention multiple scores. Here's the pressure. And that's incomplete. A defender all over him. Knocked the ball to the ground. Fourth down coming up. Memphis will send the punt team onto the field. Just needs a crack to get a return. He'll get it up to about the 44-yard line before they slam the brakes on it. Guys, we'll see if this Red Wolves offense can get moving. Might be changing the route. Smith wants to throw. Fires to the wideout. Just flying through the air like a superhero to make the grab. The offense lines up at the 41 with a 1st and 10. Out of the gun, the running back has it. Not a whole lot of room there. 3 yards maybe, 2nd and 7. The Red Wolves will hustle to the line.
And after that run, getting right back up to the line of scrimmage to go hurry up, defense has to be ready.
Looking to the big tight end. How about that play to get a hand in there and force the incompletion?
Well, that DB basically could have just ran that route for the wide receiver. He was all over him. There was no shot that receiver was going to be able to make that play. Beautiful job by the defensive back.
Unloads to the wideout. Complete in the middle. A huge chunk play as he gets it all the way down to the 11. And the Red Wolves are flying down the field. They'll run it. It's Rodgers. And he rolls into the house. Touchdown, Red Wolves! Now they have extended this lead, guys, starting to put in the hammer, but sometimes a rivalry game can give you a little of extra fight back.
And there can be no panic at this point now. You've worked too hard this offseason, David. They've had this game circled for so long. You've got to play your best football right now and fight back.
And you just need something good to happen on this next possession. You got to get the crowd back into this football game. Big rivalry. Get some emotion. Get some momentum on your side.
And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. Memphis has the ball back and the offense ready to go to work. They really didn't move the ball at all the last time they had it, hoping for better fortune this time around. He's going to lose a yard on that one.
After your defense just went out there and gave up a touchdown and let them build the lead more, you really need to come out with this drive and answer. And the running game is not in. They were ready for that. Gonna have to create some explosive plays to the passing game.
Didn't pick up a lot there. Moved it forward just a few.
Yeah, and You gotta love those matchups. When you get a running back matched up on somebody else, it's never going to be a cornerback. That's not going to happen. So finding a good matchup, getting that speed isolated, now I'm going to go attack and make some plays.
Under heavy pressure, lets it fly. It's incomplete, and I tell you, this sophomore quarterback's lucky to get that one back. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. Memphis will be forced to punt. They've been busy out there to punt for the 5th time today. Hauls it in and looking upfield. This guy is a daring punt return man. He's not going to settle for the fair catch. A solid return. Gets a little bit of ground for the offense. From the gun, running back on the move.
And a nice second effort by the back to break a tackle. But how about those defensive backs willing to come up, stick their face in the fan, and make a tackle?
Those are the best run defenses, too, right? It's not just D linemen and linebackers getting all the plays, but it's DBs that are willing to not just cover, but tackle backs in the open field.
Man, it's so nice to have a quarterback who doesn't flinch. You watch it, man. He's hanging in there, right? Hanging in there. Takes some time for those routes to get down the field. Gets hit as he throws it, but delivers the ball, a catchable ball down the field, and makes the big play. That's toughness by that young man.
And finally, the defense is able to get some pressure on this quarterback. They had been trying all game long, different ways to affect him. Weren't able to get there. But on that play, because of the pressure, it affected his accuracy, and that's why the ball falls incomplete.
He works his way inside the 30 down to the 29 and picks up a first down. The Red Wolves come to the line with a fresh set of downs.
Well, there are a lot of offenses out there that would probably be a little bit more conservative when you've got a lead like this in the third quarter, but when you've got the play...
Oh, he's got some space. They get him down, but this offense is set up first and goal from the 9.
Well, this defense is going to have to find a way to start mixing up their coverages. They're in a tough spot. They're down right now, so most people would think the opponent would be running the ball, but when you've had the success these guys have had throwing it, you're going to see more shot plays. You better change your looks up to try and get a takeaway to get back in this game.
And after that strong play on first down, they're right on the cusp of a score. 2nd and goal. Touchdown, Arkansas State! Quick strike through the air for the score.
And another good touchdown drive by this offense. And how about the start to the season? Blowout win in game 1. Blowout win looking like in game 2. This unit's clicking. They're looking like a team that will be reckoned with when the playoffs start late in the year.
Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. To the air on first down. Catch in the middle. It's Washington. That one could really put this drive into high gear as they have a first down at the 37. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Wants to throw on first down off the play fake. Pressure is on the way, and the pressure has arrived, and down he goes at the 30.
Another sack. This quarterback group, not this quarterback, this one, because you're already on quarterback number 2. Taking a lot of hits today. Got to keep these guys upright. Got to protect them. This offensive line has to do a better job.
Leaves it with the back. They bring him down, but a solid pickup to put them in position to pick up a first down. Ball is at the 41 as this defense tries to force the punt on 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Intercepted. Big play stops the drive. Bringing it back. The 20. Touchdown, Red Wolves. And what a turn of events as this defense gets the pick 6. The kick is up and good and put one more on the lead. The DB saw it. He thought, don't drop it, then thought, don't get caught, and he didn't. The pick 6.
Hey, these guys can play offense too now. Look at this. I showed you I can be a wide receiver. Coach might split him out at wide receiver next week after making that big play. But defense, great job making the interception. And you're right, doing something with it. Don't just slide down. Don't be content. Take that thing all the way back, brother.
with the back. Works ahead for a couple. They'll stop him at the 27.
That's a really good job by the defense, wrapping him up, getting him on the ground. Take away that run game. Make him one-dimensional, put him in passing situations. Really good job by the defense.
Looking for a physical attack from the gun. And that penetration left him nowhere to go. Dodged a couple, but he's knocked down for a loss. It'll be 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. He lobs one high down the left side. Oh, he had it. The deep ball was there, and it just trickled through his fingers. Memphis will send the punt team onto the field. And these guys have been busy. 6th punt of the day. Takes it on the return. He only needs a sliver of daylight. That nifty return sets up the offense and negates some of the yardage on the punt. Arkansas State has it ready to go to work on offense. Got it in the middle. It's Hoffman. Makes that one pay off, and they finally get him down at the 38. It'll be 1st down.
A lot of smiles right now on this offense. They've got a big lead, and they're just having fun out there. They're still throwing the football. These receivers are still getting open. Pass protection is still great. And this quarterback's thinking to himself, man, I'm going to be padding my stats here in the second half of this game because everything we're dialing up is working.
That's the end of the quarter, and Arkansas State is on top. This has been a complete obliteration so far, as the 3rd quarter stats will show you. It'll be 2nd down as we open the final stanza. He'll try it again. Open space at the 25. Just making a play, getting it to the 23-yard line. It'll be 1st down. And the Red Wolves come to the line with a new set of downs. Smith dropping to pass. Throws to the wideout. And it's picked off for the 4th time today. He can be dangerous with the ball in his hands, but no room to return that pick, and they'll go on offense from the 21. Hands it off on the counter. Fights off a defender. Stacked up after gaining a couple to the 23.
And the defense doing a great job committing to the run. When you commit to the run like this, obviously you can give up some plays in the passing game, but you got to stop the run first.
Lost to fire on 2nd down. Finds his man. He's across the 30 and out of bounds at the 31-yard line. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. And they'll line up from the 31 on 1st down. Looking to throw on 1st down. Pressure all over the quarterback, and down he goes at the 24.
You gotta love a defense that just is flying around and having fun. That's what these guys look like, right? All game long, everything has gone their way. Here we are early in the 4th quarter, and they are still bringing their A game, getting a sack on that last one.
Yeah, and this offense has to find a way to run the football. They got to get more creative, or whatever that looks like for this offense, something to jumpstart them, because nothing really going on the ground.
Yeah, defensively, though, you got to give them credit, too, because they knew that physically they were going to try to be challenged up front. That was a big MO for this offense coming into it. But the defense, they've risen to the occasion. Their front 7 has dominated this entire game.
Here's the return. Makes a move. Returns like that are why you don't settle for the fair catch if you don't have to. Picks up just a little bit of yards to help out the Oak. Arkansas State ready to go back to work on offense. Threw a pick the last time they had it. They'll try to be more productive this time around. Fires to the tight end. He stepped out of bounds right at the 45-yard line, and now they're starting to put things together.
And you see tight end matchups all over the field all the time now. It used to just be in the red zone. Now you just find the big fella, you put him in the slot, try to give him the ball as much as possible because you know he can make big plays.
Grabbed in the middle, it's Hoffman. And he'll ramble to the 34 before he's finally knocked down.
Well, I love play callers that want to stay aggressive. aggressive regardless of what the score is, regardless how much time is left on the clock. And I promise you this, there are a lot of fans, there are a lot of teams all across college football that are paying attention to what is happening right now.
They'll snap it from the 34 on 1st and 10.
Get set, get set. Right now.
Smith wants to throw. If the quarterback's a little more on target there, maybe they hook up, but it's an incompletion.
I'm a little bit surprised they're still throwing the football here this late in the game with this kind of lead. They're on 1st down, taking a shot, falls incomplete, but obviously they're still seeing matchups that they want to take advantage of in the back end of this defense, so they're letting it fly.
Working well behind the sticks on 2nd down.
Easy.
Smart move to keep it on the ground. And he is stopped immediately by the big defensive lineman. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. They've got to come up with a big play on this 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Fires to the right. And it goes through his hands. Oh, he had an explosive play right there for the taking, but couldn't reel it in.
And how about that? The mindset of the offensive coordinator. You got a really big lead. You're sitting really pretty, but I think this is just about rubbing your nose in it, trying to make bigger plays down the field. But the defense finally got to stop, and they need some more of those and some big plays to get back in this game.
And he had just enough to will that one home. Well, that's just piling on. Not the penalty kind, just the mute kind.
And they just tack on more points to this big lead. Listen, 4th quarter was sitting extremely pretty. All we got to do, not give up big plays, make them earn everything they get the rest this way, and we looking pretty good.
Here comes that Memphis offense back onto the field. They just didn't quite find the rhythm on that last drive, Jesse. They had to punt it.
I think they got to be more physical, David. I think up front they got to do a better job getting blocks and establishing this running game.
And how easy does football become if you're the more physical team? If you can threaten the run and then run play action, it opens up the whole offense at your disposal.
This offense has really struggled, and I think you're just waiting for one play, one explosive play to happen to hopefully galvanize you a bit offensively. That's not the case, and there, they try to run the football in the first play of the drive, and it gets absolutely blown up for a loss.
Leaves it with the back. Not much doing there. He gets it to the 26, a gain of 1.
And, man, the big fellas up front, they don't get a lot of credit. They don't get talked about a lot unless it's negative, but they're the big component, man. They've got to get some push, to get some running lanes, get this running game going. They're the ones that make it go.
They're going to keep this drive going. They'll have to make a play on 3rd and long from the 26. From the gun, wants to pass. Oh, they're after him. He misses his man. The accuracy just not what it needed to be on that play.
And that's just the kind of game it's been for this quarterback in this offense. You got a great game plan all week long. You're watching it throughout practice. You think you're going to have a chance to light up the scoreboard, but they're just not able to hook up. You got to give this defense a ton of credit. They've done a great job in coverage. They've been breaking on passes. They've had their number, and that's why they're leading by as much as they are.
He's brought down, but a really solid effort to pick up every bit of yardage he could on the punt return. They'll run it out of the shotgun. And he'll find enough running room to get it just short of midfield at the 49. Halfway there on 1st down, it's 2nd and 5. We've reached a 2-minute timeout. In all likelihood, they could just run the clock out. We'll see if they want to rub a little salt in the wound. Offense working from the pistol. Smith dropping to pass. Starting to feel a little pressure. And they wanted it all on that incomplete pass. Instead, they're looking at third down.
And that's a good stop for this defense. And listen, there hasn't been a lot of positive today, but let's finish this game strong. I think that'll be the message from the defensive coordinator. Can we get a stop? Can we get them off the field? I know lots went wrong, but let's live in this moment and try to be great right here to end the game.
Off the play fake. Under fire. Quarterback feeling that pressure, and he's knocked down at the 42.
When it's a play-action pass, that quarterback, he really has to sell the fake. He can't tell his offensive lineman's getting beat right away while he's selling the fake. He had no shot.
Pressure coming. Finds his man. It's Hoffman. He didn't make it. They'll have to give up the football, and hope is still alive. Memphis has the ball back, and the offense ready to go to work. This offense needs something to feel good about. It hasn't been very productive today, Jesse.
Well, I think it's just important they stay aggressive, try to throw the football, and just see what this quarterback can do here at the end of the game to build confidence for the next time they take the field.
Yeah, and
the ball comes out. What a disastrous play. They recover their own fumble. How in the world did the offense avoid that disaster?
That ball carrier is very lucky. That easily could have ended up in the hands of the defense. You have got to do a better job of ball security.
To do here on 2nd and long. Wants to go up top. He's got his man, makes the grab. He's brought down quickly. Minimal gain there, still a bit short of the first down.
And this game is obviously out of hand. But I think the fans would argue, too, at this point, all right, well, let's not throw checkdowns, right? Let's throw some deep balls and continue to open up this offense and keep fighting. I think that's what you want to see. You want to see your squad not quit. Keep fighting until the very end of the football.
Release to the back. And they fail to hook up on third down.
Well, at this point, you're still trying to throw stuff up against the blackboard to see if it sticks. You're down by a lot of points, so why not try it, right? And give the offense credit. You know, you're not just going to run the football. You're not just going to take a knee and go into the locker room with your tail between your legs. I like the fighting spirit, just not enough of that today.
Guys, we'll see if this Red Wolves offense can get moving. Now the chance to take a knee and just put the finishing touches on this victory.
Yeah, and this offense has done their job, man. They've been so productive, built the lead. Listen, their defense has pulled their weight as well. But now, Jesse, you get to exhale, you get to breathe, and you know we got the W, and we played well.
And we got to think about where we're taking our girlfriend and parents for dinner, right?
And his 5th interception of the game, a miracle they haven't pulled him yet.
Reese, I know you're a little bit of a front runner, so you probably would quit. You'd probably sub yourself out and take yourself out of the game. But I like that they're continuing to fight. Keep fighting. You never know what's going to happen. Actually, you know what? I know you're not going to win, but it doesn't matter. Keep fighting to the very end.
Here comes that Memphis offense back onto the field. This has been a really disappointing performance, David, no question about that, but they can find some positives.
Yeah, and every time you watch the tape, you know, Jesse, coaches are pointing out, look at this. This was open if we'd have just ran the details to the right route, hung on to the football. Little things can make a big difference.
Yeah, that's why they call it a game of inches, David, but I'll say this. If you're on offense, don't go on social media this week. It ain't going to be pretty after this performance. You've got to lock in. You got to take the week of practice very seriously and find those positives that you can build off, David, you're talking about.
Pass rush coming after the quarterback, and they get him at the 32.
And man, is that just indictment of the day. Your quarterback getting drilled late in the football game. This offense has sputtered. They haven't found any kind of good rhythm. They haven't done things that really gives your coach confidence and makes you want to believe in them. This offense has a lot of work to do before their next football game.
They would not let him get close. Stopped at the 26. It'll be 4th down. And they're going to head out to line up for a field goal. Never a doubt. And they'll put 3 on the board, but the deficit remains huge.
And I know know, a lot of people are scratching their heads why they try to kick that field goal. You're in the fourth quarter. You're down a boatload of points. A field goal isn't going to do it. If you want to win this game, you need touchdowns. I would anticipate for every possession they get from here on out, man, you've got to be way more aggressive.
After putting 3 on the board, the kickoff unit ready to go. He'll start the return inside his 5. And he's able to pick his way through the traffic nicely for a good return on that one before he's brought down. They weren't able to get that one off. It'll be a delay of game.
Delay of game. Offense.
The quarterback just lost track of the play clock, didn't get the snap off quickly enough.
Okay, ready?
Quarterback making checks.
29 Philly.
Smith wants to throw. That one will be incomplete, and we are down to 10 seconds to go.
And how about this offense? They're not worried about the clock. They're not worried about the score. They're not worried about early and down. Still trying to execute their offense. Still trying to make big plays. And they've had a great day so far.
He can't find his man, and the clock stops with 6 seconds left.
Yeah, and you just wonder if the defense now is taking out some frustration. Obviously, they've been getting lit up all over the place, and that time they finally gave it back to the offense there. Really nice, big, clean hit. This defense needs a little bit more of that as the game goes on.
And after this play, the cake will be baked. On 3rd and long, no secret what he needs here. Caught over the middle, it's Rodgers. Timeout is called with just a single second left.
Timeout, Arkansas State.
Ready up.
And here we go, final play of the game right here. On 4th down, looking to pass. Ball's incomplete, and that'll do it from here. They get a big win here and start the season on a positive note.
You got to love that as the players. You come out, you have so much anticipation coming into the season, finally getting ready to play in front of a live audience. You're able to come out and execute and get this win under your belt. David, couldn't be a better way to start the year.
And for the losing team, obviously, it's a little bit different. You have something to look at now to analyze where do I need to get a little bit better, but plenty of time still left in the season to improve and turn it around.
Thanks so much for spending some time with us. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis, and this has been another presentation of EA Sports College Football.